When you buy a piece of land to build your dream home, you imagine peace, freedom, and the joy of shaping your future. But what if your biggest obstacle isn't construction delays or weather, but a nosy, power-tripping neighbor who thinks your property is her personal canvas? I never thought I'd be in a full-blown feud over a porta-potty, but here I am, telling you the story of how HOA Karen tried to assert control over my land, and how I gave her a taste of poetic justice by towing that blue plastic throne right onto her perfectly manicured lawn. Let's rewind. After years of grinding away at a soul-sucking job, saving every penny I could, I finally purchased a piece of land in a quiet suburban area, technically just outside the HOA boundaries. This was intentional. I'd read enough horror stories about homeowners associations to know I wanted no part of them. My lot was unregulated, free, and just waiting for the foundation of my future home. The first few weeks were uneventful. I'd drive by every couple of days, checking on the land, coordinating with builders, and watching the slow but steady process of transformation. And then she showed up. I didn't know her name at first, but soon enough everyone around was calling her HOA Karen. Karen wasn't on the HOA board, she was the board, or at least she acted like it. Clad in oversized sunglasses, always with a clipboard in hand and a Bluetooth earpiece, as if she were managing national security, Karen would patrol the neighborhood like a self-appointed sheriff. Her jurisdiction? Anywhere her sandals could walk. The first confrontation came when she flagged me down as I was walking the site with my contractor. "You can't build a two-story home here?" she snapped. I blinked. "I'm sorry, who are you?" "I'm Karen," she said proudly, as if that cleared everything up. "I represent the Homeowners Association." I nodded slowly. "That's great, but my lot isn't part of the HOA. She frowned like I had just insulted her garden gnome collection. "Well, maybe not technically, but this is a community, and we all abide by certain standards." I didn't take the bait. I smiled, told her to have a nice day, and walked away. But Karen wasn't the type to let things go. First, she filed complaints, none of which had any legal standing. Then, she started sending me passive-aggressive letters in fancy envelopes with fake HOA letterheads. I ignored them all. But the tipping point came about 2 weeks into foundation work. I arrived on site one morning to find a porta-potty smack dab in the middle of my lot. Not tucked away in a corner, not delivered for the workers. We already had one on site. This was a second unit. Right in the middle, obnoxiously blue, practically glowing with defiance. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I called the rental company. Nope, someone had specifically requested it for my address and paid in cash. I didn't need a private investigator to figure out who was behind this, but I wanted to be sure. So I pulled footage from a trail cam I'd set up near the lot for security. Sure enough, there she was, Karen, strutting across my property like she owned the place, directing the delivery guy to drop the porta-potty right in the center of the lot. I was furious. But more than that, I was inspired. If she wanted to play games, I was going to show her how the game was really played. The next morning, I rented a flatbed trailer and enlisted the help of my buddy Mike, who runs a towing business. It wasn't even hard. We secured the plastic throne, strapped it in, and drove slowly, deliberately through the neighborhood. We made a big loop, attracting plenty of curious stares, before finally pulling into Karen's driveway. Now let me describe her house for context. It's the one with the pristine white picket fence, the "Live, Laugh, Love" sign hanging by the door, and flower beds that look like they've been curated by Martha Stewart herself. I didn't just dump the porta-potty in her yard, no, I placed it right in the middle of her freshly trimmed lawn. I even made sure the door faced her living room window. Then I left a note taped to the door. "Thought you needed this more than me. Community standards, right?" I heard later from a neighbor that she screamed so loudly birds flew out of trees 3 blocks away. But Karen wasn't done. She tried calling the cops. They came. They laughed. I showed them the footage of her placing it on my lot and explained that I simply returned her gift. Since it wasn't damaged and was placed on her property as a courtesy, there was nothing they could do. Still, she wasn't ready to surrender. Next came the emails to city code enforcement, the anonymous calls to the health department. She even tried to say I was running an illegal waste facility. Each time she lost, spectacularly. The neighborhood started to catch on. People began whispering. Turns out I wasn't the only one she'd targeted. One guy got fined by the HOA falsely because she didn't like his mailbox. Another was told his Halloween decorations were satanic. Once, she even filed a noise complaint against a 7-year-old's birthday party. With each failed attempt to punish me, Karen was losing power and reputation. The final nail in the coffin came when I posted the whole ordeal on the neighborhood's private Facebook group. I uploaded the Porta-Potty video, the cam footage, even the note I left. People were dying. Within days, someone made a meme. Then someone else created a mock HOA summons, demanding Karen relocate her unauthorized excretory installation. A neighbor even put a cardboard cutout of a porta-potty on their lawn as solidarity. Karen tried to salvage her image. She hosted a neighborhood coffee chat and invited everyone to talk through recent misunderstandings. Only 2 people showed up, and one was a lost DoorDash driver. Eventually, she resigned from her unofficial position of neighborhood dictator. No one cared. No one noticed. She still lives there, but she keeps her head down now. As for me, I'm proud to say my home is nearly complete. Every time I look at the spot where that blue menace once stood, I smile. And you better believe for my housewarming party, I rented that exact same porta-potty again. I parked it right at the edge of my driveway, facing her house, with a new sign, dedicated in memory of Karen's last stand. So the next time someone thinks they can bully you with fake authority and plastic toilets, remember this. Sometimes the best revenge is a porta-potty with a purpose.